We're moving on to our next category of adjustment layers. These are creative color grading adjustments, specifically black and white, gradient map, and color lookup. These are all about being able to creatively reinterpret color, not so much just correcting things, but stylizing. And so when you really want to shift atmosphere, mood, style something really differently, these are great tools. They go beyond realism and they're more about affecting emotional mood, especially gradient map can be really creative. Um, but let's start with black and white. This one I'll present in a fairly straightforward way where we have just a photo here, and then I've gone in and affected it. Now, this doesn't work exactly like hue saturation, but it certainly has some things in common with it. So, adding the adjustment layer here, you can see, um, you know, this is a very multicolored photo. And so when we want to get into it, and I'm showing you this in a black and white because it's easy then to think about, what if I wanted to take what would have been a red color, an orange or green color, and slide it around with these sliders. So then the reds, notice that it's really only the color information that's red that's getting darker here when I slide this value down to darker. If we have things in here that are yellow, I can bump up their contrast. Greens, so this is a great way, like I said, going beyond maybe what you can do with hue saturation to not only, there's not much cyan in there, of course, not much blue, not much magenta, a little bit of magenta down there in the bottom. But yeah, not only be able to turn something to a grayscale, but also be able to really hone in on specific color areas. The other thing you can do with this is apply a tint. So here I'm clicking the tint button, and then this is kind of a sepia tone, so it makes it look like an old-timey photo, but I could go in and, apply whatever sort of hue I wanted to it, and then, all grayscale information would be in value, but then it would also, as a whole, take on this hue in terms of the color and the level of saturation. So that's a good one. Another quick example where you have something like this with very, intense lighting. And so I've got a black and white adjustment layer on this, and you can see when I go in and start to move that around, it's really drastically changing the appearance of what this photo looks like based on whether I'm darkening or lightening those red hues and yellow hues and green hues. So this is a great one to control things that are in black and white based on their hues.